Hey, fantasy football friends. So it is week 12 of the NFL season, and this is your Waiver Wire Weekly, brought to you by Stronghold Financial because, like a Pro Bowl offensive line, Stronghold Financial protects you against life's risks, just like I am protecting you against making the wrong waiver wire choice. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's talk about our trusts and our busts. Our trusts are the players you want to pick up, our busts are the ones you want to avoid. So let's talk first about our trusts. Our first trust, which I'm surprised to see is still available in about half of the Yahoo leagues and about 25% of ESPN leagues, and that is Josh Reynolds, the wide receiver from the LA Rams. Josh Reynolds got placed into that wide receiver 3 position once we lost Cooper Kupp for the year. And Josh Reynolds had a great debut last night against the Chiefs. He had 80 yards and a touchdown, so you can't hate that at all. And I think he's just going to continue to get more and more involved. He looked great last night. I'm kind of surprised he wasn't picked up last week, right after the news broke that we lost Cooper Kupp for the year. Sorry, Cooper Kupp, that makes me sound like we lost you, that you perished. Sorry about that. Just lost him for the year. He'll be back. But Josh Reynolds, if you remember, in the past, when he has filled in, he's done really well also. And I really liked the synergy that he and Jared Goff had last night. So for me, Josh Reynolds, number one, he's on that high octane, high-powered offense of the LA Rams, which is a big draw for me. He's going to continue to get targets. He's going to continue to score touchdowns. And going into your fantasy playoffs, that is exactly what you're looking for. So Josh Reynolds is a trust. If he is still available in your league, pick him up now. Do whatever you need to do to get that boy in your lineup. Josh Reynolds, trust this week for the waiver wire. Now, our other trust this week. Now, there's a little caveat to this because the trust is really only for this next week so far. I want to see where he goes. But this guy was actually like my favorite quarterback coming out of the draft this year. Somebody I was really excited about, the type of QB that I love, and that is Lamar Jackson. And yeah, you know what, this week he didn't throw the ball a whole heck of a lot. He only had 150 yards and no touchdowns and an interception, but he ran the ball very well, 27 times for 117 yards. We're going to see a lot more of that, and he's going to be dynamic. And against that Oakland defense this next week coming up that is so terrible, especially against the run, I'm thinking that we're going to see some Lamar Jackson in the end zone for this next week. So for me, he is a trust. You can trust him, especially if you have somebody on a bye or if you play in a 2-quarterback league. He's a great option for you to score those points. He's scoring points. They may be on the ground, but he's scoring points. I hope to see him get a little bit more involved in the passing game. But even still, you know what? The Baltimore Ravens passing game is not that good. So if he can score a few passing touchdowns, that's pretty good. He's still going to get it done on the ground as well. So I do like Lamar Jackson this next week against Oakland. And then we'll take it week by week and see what those matchups look like for him. Now let's move on to our busts. Our bust, the first one. Now we just talked about a quarterback I trust. I'm now going to tell you about a quarterback I do not trust, and that is Colt McCoy of the Washington Redskins. He's taking over for the injured Alex Smith, and that was a terrible, terrible injury that we saw out of him. I feel really bad for him. I hope that he gets to play football again at some point, but man, that looked all too familiar, didn't it, Joe Theismann? So, Colt McCoy, you know what? He manages the clock well. He manages the team well. He's not a super sexy type of QB like Lamar Jackson is. But the problem is that the Washington Redskins just don't score very many points. And they're very much a running offense. So you can't trust Colt McCoy simply because of that. He's not going to throw a lot of passing touchdowns. He's not running the ball like Lamar Jackson is. You're going to see more Adrian Peterson. And yeah, you know what? You'll probably see him get some touchdown passes to Jordan Reed. But other than that, there's nobody on that Washington Redskins offense in the passing game that I really trust all that much. So for me, Colt McCoy is a bust. He is somebody you do not want to waste your waiver wire pick on, unless, again, if you're in a desperate situation in some of those 2 quarterback leagues where you just need somebody who's going to play. And in that case, yeah, he'll play. He's just not going to get you a lot of numbers. So let's go to my second bust of the week. My second bust of the week, and I know a lot of people are going to be picking him up because, again, at the running back position, there's just such desperation to find anyone who can put any points on the board. And that is Gus Edwards. We saw him put those points on the board. He had 115 rushing yards and a touchdown this week for the Baltimore Ravens. But we don't know what that is going to shake out to with Alex Collins, with Buck Allen. Buck Allen is really the pass catching back. And then with Lamar Jackson taking rushing opportunities as well, they are having Lamar Jackson rush the ball a lot, and they will this week against Oakland. And it's going to look like a sweet matchup against Oakland, as I've already talked about. But I just can't trust that Gus Edwards is going to get the call. Are we going to see Alex Collins this week? Are we going to see Gus Edwards? Are we going to see just all kinds of Lamar Jackson? Don't know. So it's a tough thing. So yeah, if you're desperate for a running back, he's going to look good because, hey, he might get some points. But for me, Gus Edwards is a bust, and I don't trust him. So that's it for our Waiver Wire Weekly this week. Again, if you have any questions, if you want some start-sit questions, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Rosalie Michaels. That link is down below. And then don't forget to listen for me on the Daily Blender with Jeffry O'Brien every Thursday, Wednesday this week because of the holiday, and Pure Sports with Jeff Bloom. Also on Thursdays, but again, Wednesday this week because of the holiday. And every Sunday, I am on the DraftKings live show, The Sweat, which you can find that link down below. We go right up until game time, so you can answer all those start-sit questions as well. All those links are down below. So until next week, I'll see you then.